Day 2 of training camp. It was an up and down day, and we'll get into it. What is up, Finn fans? Day 2 of training camp. The usual Mike McDaniel presser. Got a little notes. Who's wearing the orange jersey? Who wasn't there? Some on the field stuff. And this time, when it comes to the player press conferences, we're going to listen this time. Miami Dolphins on their YouTube channel actually has the recordings and the video of the player press conferences after practice, so I don't have to read them to you and bore the crap out of you. But without further ado, we'll jump into Mike McDaniel and we'll get to on-field stuff. So we're going to start with Mike McDaniel. He talks about Connor Williams. He says, we weren't signing a center. We were signing an offensive lineman. We thought his skill set would be utilized at the center position. This is a good offensive lineman that can play multiple positions. I don't know how I feel about that. If you want me to be honest with you, and obviously you guys want me to be honest with you, I don't know how I feel about that. I would prefer them to get a legit center. I prefer them to go out and get a center. Again, this has no implication on my thoughts on how Connor Williams or Michael Dieter will do at center compared to anyone else they bring in. I just would prefer Connor Williams at left guard. I think that would really solidify the left side of that offensive line. But obviously these guys know more than I do, especially Applebaum and the offensive coordinator we brought in. So I just don't know how I feel about that. He also says that things that make Williams a good center, size plus athleticism, the mental capacity he possesses. Williams was house money signing because he has a shot to play at multiple positions. Again, yeah, he has the mental, like, he's not wrong saying the things he's saying about Connor Williams at center. It's just I would prefer a legit center. I prefer a guy who has played center for multiple years in the NFL, because God forbid there's snap issues. God forbid it is third and whatever, it's first and whatever. We got a pick or an interception. We're on their 15-yard line. You know, we need this touchdown to win the game. Bad snap from Connor Williams to Tua, and we're all going to lose our marbles. I would just prefer a legit center at center. He said he will be calling plays directly to Tua. I'm working on it every day. That's why you see me communicating with a walkie-talkie. Barry Jackson. I love me some Barry Jackson. He's the main reason I am subscribed to the Miami Herald, is because of Barry Jackson and how good he is. Came out, said this, and then he was like, unlike last year where they would have a pigeon bring down. Essentially, last year was a complete and utter blank show. Try not to curse on this channel anymore. The way that the plays were relayed to Tua Tagovailoa. It went from either Studsville or Gotze down to Fry over to Tua. Now it's going to go from Mike McDaniel to Tua. Just one line, just right instead of boop, 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 boop. It was a nightmare, so it's different communication now. By nature, I'm an aggressive guy when it comes to football. I like big plays and speed. It is important not to pigeonhole yourself. Essentially, a lot of people are looking at his style of offense when it came to the 49ers and think it's going to be like a dink and dunk, screens and because it's a zone run scheme, crossing routes and nothing deep. He's like, I'm not pigeonholing myself. We'll see how it pans out. Talks about Melvin Ingram. He said he's been fighting with the coaches to get more reps as they slowly bring him along. He has a lot of impact. He was a better run defender than I remember him earlier in his career. He has really grown into that, a pass rusher. He has a lot of activity. I'm excited Melvin Ingram's on the team. I wanted him last year. I'm glad they brought him in this year. I think he is going to be a very good situational guy to really help the Dolphins defense in certain positions that they struggled in last year, especially like third and long. For some reason, they kept giving those up, and it was driving me nuts. I think he's going to really help with that. He says practicing at full speed is the only way to improve your full speed. The less reps you do, the more critical it becomes. So he's playing at full speed. Obviously, he wants the offense at full speed. His whole offense is speed. And it also conditions them and it gets them ready for that style of offense. He says, I was very happy with day one because it was a purposeful practice, a good practice to me is a practice where it is worth something moving forward. Yeah, good quote. It says a good practice is when both sides of the ball make their plays, but also handle adversity and go through it. This is why we're getting reps in the hot sweat every day. He said this before today's practice, and this is quintessential of today's practice. And I find it so funny that he has his pressers and they go out and they practice, and then after the practice, the team and the players meet with the media. And I think it's so funny that this quote was before today's practice, where he says a good practice is when both sides of the ball make their plays, but also handle adversity and go through it. This is why we're getting reps in the hot sweat every day. And I say that because you're going to hear me talk about Tua today. He was up and he was down, but it was how he bounced back from the downs and how he had his ups. That is what practice is about. Is about doing these things, is about trying these things, but it's also about bouncing back. You're going to want the defense to do well, but you're going to also want the offense to do well, being that both units are playing against each other. If it's just a one defensive sided day, that's not good. If it's a one offensive sided day, you want that back and forth, back and forth. And to me, today was a very back and forth day. And I will get to that because we were done with Mike McDaniel's press conference. 2 notes. 1, the Penguin, Waddle, rocking the orange jersey. He's been killing it these past 2 days of training camp. No Armstead, no Mostert, no Dieter, no Butler, and obviously Byron Jones is on the pup. When it came to Dieter and Butler, I think it was just a nagging injury. Or Dieter and Butler was a nagging injury they're dealing with, and obviously Armstead and Mostert, they're slowly bringing them along. Now let's get to the on-the-field stuff. I'll have this video here that I will pop up of Waddle making a crazy catch over undrafted free agent corner Kadu. First off, Waddle is he's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I do not like the position of this pass. If I'm going to be nitpicky, if we're going to nitpick Tua, we need to also nitpick Teddy Bridgewater. Great tight spiral on that ball. Very happy, but I don't like where he placed it. And also, Waddle, please, it's training camp, my man. You're not even in pads. But see how it would have been better if he threw it to his left shoulder. See how he had to turn his body? I'll go back a little bit. See how he had to turn his body? Right? Because he threw it here. If he would have thrown it here, there's no one over here. You have your defender over here. He threw it where the defender was. I kind of wish he would have thrown it over here. And the fact that Waddle had to jump up for it, not that great. So again, if I rewind just a scotch, we're going to break that. See? Threw it over here. Would have been better over here. He caught it. It was completed. Is what it is. But there's that play. Then a nice gain across the middle from Tua on 7-on-7s. Chase Edmonds had a good day today. He's displayed good bursts on multiple runs for a second day in a row. Every rushing attempt was a positive one. Showed receiving skills as well. But again, take this with a grain of salt because they don't have their pads on. You can't really get much from not having pads on. Hill with a handful of chunk plays, but he also had a few drops today. Hill, he got frustrated himself. He banged himself in the helmet. Again, holding yourself accountable. Javon Holland with 2 pass breakups, one from Tua to Easy E on the sideline during throw during 11-on-11s. It was just a good play by Javon Holland. Great throw by Tua, just good play by Javon Holland on that one. Hill made a 25-yard sideline catch from Tua. It was a good play. Again, him and Tua have been connecting on those out routes. 25-yarder, great play there. Tino Ellis, nice pass breakup. Just brought him back from Skylar Thompson. Okay, this is where we'll get into it, all right? This is where we'll get into what Mike McDaniel said, right? This is what I'm hearing from, and again, I follow, because now the whole narrative is some people are talking good, some people are talking bad, some people are fluffing it up, some people are telling the truth. I follow them all. Adam Beasley, Omar Kelly, Barry Jackson, Travis Wingfield. You name a Miami Dolphin beat writer, I follow them. So I get all the information and I get it to you. So this is what I heard. Tua was sharp with his passes and accuracy for the second day, no interception. But he also threw 2 over the middle to Needham and Byron Jones, which were almost intercepted. So this is what I heard from today. Again, I follow everyone, right? I'm hearing Tua was very sharp for a good portion of the practice. He was making plays, like I said, the 25-yard sideliner to Hill. He was making some really nice connections with Waddle on 7-on-7s. He was tight spiraled. He also had some dumb plays today with the 2 potential interceptions to Nick Needham and to Brandon Jones. Also, we need to give credit to the defense. As much as people want to harp on the negativity, oh, Tua, we need to give credit to the defense because Nick Needham on that potential interception was ridiculous. He was stride for stride with the wide receiver, and he cut the route perfectly. He just lost the ball when he hit the ground. So it was a great play by Nick Needham. This is the thing, and I'm going to talk about this real quick, and then we'll get back to the play-by-plays. I have seen people on Twitter and in my comment section kind of rooting for Tua to have bad days at camp. And I can't fathom it, right? I can't fathom it. People are like, oh, you seem like a big Tua fan. Is he the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins? Yes, I'm a fan of him, and I'd like to succeed because if Tua Tagovailoa succeeds, the Miami Dolphins succeed. All I care about is this logo that is tattooed on me. I had this tattoo for a long time before Tua was even in college. There's that. But back to the people who are openly rooting for Tua to do bad at practice. What good does that do? I hate when people question fandoms, but if you're rooting for your own quarterback to do bad just so your narrative is right, do you want the team to lose? I don't understand that. Tua had a bad day. He had 2 passes that could have been potential interceptions, but he also had a ton of good passes that even Adam Beasley, who a lot of people are talking about. Oh, why did Adam Beasley talk? Adam Beasley even said for the first half of practice, Tua looked very sharp. It happens. It's practice. It's also the second day of practice. I warned you guys when I previewed training camp that this was going to happen. People are going to take things and blow them out of proportion. People are taking the fact that Teddy Bridgewater threw a pass to Jalen Waddle out of proportion. And they're, oh, is Teddy Bridgewater running with the ones? They all. Look at yesterday when Hill and Waddle were catching from Bridgewater, Tua, and Skylar Thompson. That's all you got to do, people, is training camp. Take a deep breath. Week 1 is what all that matters. Now my rant's over. Let's get back to it. Tua threw a pass to Hill that traveled 45 yards in the air. Unfortunately, the ball was underthrown. Hill had to come back for it, but it was completed. Again, this is from Adam Beasley. Yeah, I'd like to see those more in stride, but again, it's not that important to me that for him to consistently connect on 50-yard bombs. If he can make these accurate passes and if he can continue to move the ball down the field, that's all that matters to me. I don't give a flip. Tua threw the ball away smartly with a defender in his face with no one open. Last year, these were plays that Tua would end up throwing interceptions, trying to force plays, trying to move the ball down the field. I like the smart play by Tua to throw the ball away, play another down instead of trying to force one in there. Myles Gaskin maximizing his rushing attempts, especially because he is on the bubble. Sony Michel had a nice long run today. Jared Dokes converted a first down on a throw from Teddy Bridgewater. Greg Little struggled today. He's competing, I think, for the tackle position. He struggled versus Agba and Phillips. He was called offsides. He got beat. Not looking good for him. Hunter Long had a nice day today. Nice sizable catches, all that stuff. If he comes in and continues to perform like he is, it seems like Adam Shaheen might be an odd man out. Preston Williams had an off day today. Drops a long pass from Teddy Bridgewater that fell right through his fingertips. Man, they brought in Mohamed Sanu. Preston, you got it. If you want to make this roster, you got to make those catches. Saquandre Wright drops a perfect throw from Kyler Thompson. Lynn Bowden Jr. working on the return game again. I said this time and time again. If you want to make the roster, special teams. Sanders made several field goals, including a 52-yarder. Let's hope we can get 2020 Sandman back. Teddy Bridgewater misses Sherfield on a sideline pass. The pass was just off. Again, it was an off day from both quarterbacks. All three quarterbacks had an off day today. Again, there was good and there was some bad. It is what it is. There was center problems with the young setter and Skylar Thompson. Davis, Wilkins, and Sealer had a good day today. And then Liam Eichenberg, showing awareness, stood out today, was quick to secure a block from a teammate and then helped double team. And he kept scanning for looks and work. So overall, this is my thought on day 2 of training camp. First, Waddle's doing his thing. Tyreek Hill had an off day, had a few drops, but it is what it is. Tua Tagovailoa had a bunch of good passes, had the 2 stupid passes that could have been interception. Learn from it. Don't do it again. That's what training camp's for. Skylar Thompson, same thing with Teddy Bridgewater, making some dumb plays. Learn from it. Second day of camp, move on. Offensive line, I am not putting too many chips into if they're struggling or not struggling. I'm putting a little bit into it because of the jumping off sides. Can tell normally when an offensive lineman jumps off sides, they are worried about who they're going up against. So they want to get the snap and they want to get the jump off before that defender can blow by them. So I'm worried about Greg Little, but he's not considered a starter. Not till the pads come on and not until joint practices will you get a good idea of what this offensive line was. Last year, they were getting blown off the line by the Bears, kind of foreshadowed what we were going to deal with. Tampa Bay next week, and then the last week against the Eagles, we'll really know what this offensive line's all about. Same thing with the running game. I gave you some good things from Gaskin, Dokes, and Sony Michel. We won't really know until the pads come on. So overall, it's the second. The way I see it today was the second day of training camp. There were some good plays. There were some bad plays. There were some drops. Defense was doing its thing. I'm not worried about today. And if you are worried about today, then take a deep breath. It's the second day of training camp. If these things, what I look for is a chain, right? I look for a chain of events. So say tomorrow Tua is still making stupid plays and throwing potential interceptions over the middle of the field, then I'm going to be like, he needs to stop doing that. If he chains them together, right? Because he had a good day yesterday, had an off day today. Again, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. What can he do tomorrow? If he starts to falter, start to go down, then I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to talk about it, and it's going to worry me. But as of right now, it's the second day of training camp. He made good throws. He made 2 bad ones. We'll move on from there. And that's what I got for you for training camp. Now we're going to listen to some of the players and what they have to say. So first, we're going to start with Tyreek Hill.
The possible combination of you and Jalen Waddle. How special could Jalen be eventually? What both of you can collectively do?
It's going to be fun. I feel like this season is going to be, fast and electric. So it's going to be definitely fun. I'm excited for it. And I can't wait to get, to the season. Well, the season is here, but I can't wait till we actually play against other teams.
We know what you mean.
Having said that, you guys line up on the same side even here in practice. What do you think defense is going for?
Oh, they're scared shitless. I'm going to tell you what, J-Dub, he's faster than I thought. When I first got here, I was like, okay, he's a 4-3. Because typically, when you see 4-3 guys, they don't run as fast on the football field. But J-Dub, he actually runs a 4-3 on the football field. There's a difference, right? So, like I said, I'm very excited for the season. I can't wait to see him blossom and continue to move his game forward, which I know he will because he comes out here every single day and he works hard and he wants to get better. So
he said his playlist was the most bumping so far. Right?
You said what?
His playlist was the most bumping so far.
I wouldn't say all that, but it was all right. It got us going. As you seen today, offense was kind of rolling today, so you can say that.
On third downs with you and Jalen and Gesicki and Cedric Wilson and either Chase or Raheem, can teams stop you if you execute as you should?
I mean, I'm going to say this, dog. I never say, another man will be able to stop us. You know what I'm saying? It really doesn't matter who lines up across us. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I know that Coach McDaniel and Tua, they got all the confidence in every single guy that lines up on offense to win their matchup. So that's all I got to say about that.
Jalen described your relationship as little bro, big bro.
Yeah.
How would you describe it?
Same way. I feel like it's one of those situations that, I feel like I've been in the league for some time now, and I know that my time gonna come here, end soon. So, I just want to see him continue to grow his game, continue to learn the same way I did, because I feel like when he came into the league, he didn't have that big bro. It was just him. He just came and he still put up 1,000 yards, So I'm going to do anything I can to help him move his game forward, help him succeed in this league.
Absolutely love what Hill had to say there. There's more to that if you want to go check out the full, it's on their channel. But I love that he, first off, is taking Waddle under his wing and kind of treating him like a little bro and doing all those things. And I love that he said that the defense is going to be scared blankless. Yeah, especially that one reporter talking about third and whatever, and then the amount of talent that this Dolphin team has is it's just going to be fantastic.
Yesterday, I want to kind of hear your perspective on that.
Nah, just a competitive nature. You know how that goes. You want to get out there and practice and make plays, and it's just a competitive nature. But I'm just being smart, listen to the coaches, whatever they want me to do. That's it? That's great. Oh.
Coach McDaniel told us that you basically convinced the coaches to let you do some team drills yesterday. Why was that so important for you?
I like playing football, man. It's all football with me.
What kind of question
is
that?
Trying to get out there and have fun.
I mean, even though you're not actually on the field, I see you constantly talking to coaches. That's part of it, right?
Yeah, you got to be a student of the game. Football is really like 85% mental. If you know what's going on, you know what's finna happen. If I was finna come punch you and you knew it, you would duck. So, get out. Yeah, you feel me? So it's all about just being a student of the game.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like being a coach that believes in each other?
Oh man, it's great, man. It's great. It ain't nothing like being healthy. You know, injuries is an unfortunate part of the game. And when you definitely healthy, I know I know who I am and what I'm capable of. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be special.
And what's your target weight?
I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. It's just I feel great, and whatever I come in and I'm gonna be me.
No, but what are you seeing out there? Being able to observe?
You can hear them working.
I see a lot of special players, man. A lot of talent, a bright future, and a lot of guys just out there working, and that's the biggest part about it. When you got a lot of guys out there working and everybody competing on a day in and day out basis, it can be special.
They look like a group that's been together because basically.
Yeah. Nah, definitely. They definitely do. They definitely look like they clicking on all cylinders. You know, we still got a long way to go. We just building stepping stones, so it definitely looks special, though.
Melvin, Jalen Phillips mentioned that you've been helping him out. What's something that you know now that you kind of wish you knew in your first year or two in the NFL?
Just how much of being a student to the game means to it. It's how much of studying your craft and day in and day out working your craft. That's gonna hone in and make you the best player that you can be, and that's what you control. So it's all about controlling what you can control.
Another player that I just love that he's taken Jalen Phillips under his wing, especially Emmanuel Ogbah. I'm hearing very good things about Jalen Phillips this camp. Like, I'm hearing very, very good things. So I don't want to get my hopes up because I really like Jalen Phillips. One of my favorite Dolphins of all time is Jason Taylor. I played the position. So when I played it, Jason Taylor and me have the same body type, tall, long, and skinny, kind of like Jalen Phillips. So it's like I have that. I'm like, I really want this guy to succeed. I got Jalen Waddle.
Before being in actual games, but do you have a feel yet for how Tyreek's presence is going to help you? Is your expectation that you'll get less attention?
That I'll get less of it, or he'll get less?
Yeah, that you'll get just because, as great as you are, Tyreek obviously, with a 6-time Pro Bowl body of work.
Right. I think we all work together in unison, not just him, Mike G, all the playmakers we got on the team. No, we work together as one. I mean, we're going to be pretty good.
Are you expecting teams maybe might not pay quite as much attention to you as they did without Tyreek opposite you?
I can't say, this early. And I know you got to be prepared for him. You got a game plan for him, just like I got a game plan for the other playmakers we have on our team.
Were used pretty much exclusively in the slot last year. How different is this camp for you, working at all the positions, learning all the positions, all the movement?
It's still learning. Luckily, we got some practice in OTA, so kind of familiar with how Mike play calls and things like that. But, we learning, trying to get better each and every day.
What's the next step in the evolution of your game?
I think just knowledge. Being in a room with Reek and Mo, you think you know a lot about the game, but guys that have been playing in this league teach you a lot in a short time.
I think that's why they brought in
Samuel. About the shorter practices and trying to maximize every rep because those practices are shorter. How do you approach that every day, knowing, hey, we might not be out here as long? I need to make sure I'm, familiar with everything the playbook.
So Coach really, put emphasis on being deliberate. So I kind of just take that in mind of being considerate each and every rep. Knowing you don't have too many, but try to get every rep as a game rep, so none of them wasted. So.
What's something this year that you didn't just say knowledge and learning in the room? What's something you've learned that sticks out to you?
Just the knowledge of the game. For me, Mo been here like 2 days, and every time he tell me, hey, run to the huddle or things like that, little things like that, or he'd be like, peep the safeties and short and stuff like that. So I think that's really helping me out.
I like that a lot.
What goals do you have for yourself this
For me personally, not too big in the goals. I just try to be myself. Go out there, be consistent each and every week, try to help the team win.
Jalen, what's the process of when you find out that you're getting the orange jersey? What is that like behind the scenes?
They tell you pretty early. So me, I was just thinking about my plays. I had the best playlist so far. I seen some of y'all nod y'all heads. You know what I mean? As me, you know. That's how I start out practice with H-Town, you know.
Jalen, you might mess around and wear that jersey again tomorrow, man.
Hey, you know, Mike got an interview today. Tell him, put in a word for me.
What part of this offense do you like most, Jalen, and what part do you think is going to maximize your skills the most?
I really like how we got answers for everything. Everything defense can do, pretty much got answers for it. So that's why I like it. A lot of options for each and everybody to make plays and shut the ball. So lovely.
Forgive me for asking this. Are you wearing tinted contacts?
Yeah, tinted. Yeah, for sure.
What's the story behind those?
Mike thought that helped me, play better wearing tinted contacts. So yeah, I probably think why my eyes red and stuff like that. But it's for a reason, for sure, not for style.
Wow. What's your natural eye color? Yeah, I'm just curious.
My girlfriend, you gotta take me on a date first. No, I'm just kidding. I think brown though.
I think it's pretty cool that Mike McDaniel noticed something and he was like, "Here, wear these tinted contacts. It'll help you see better." You kind of noticed that his eyes were a little red. But yeah, it's funny that they asked him, "What's your actual eye color?" Does it even matter? But again, it's that whole situation of taking the player under his wing. Really, really, really liking that. Now we're going to listen to Chase Edmonds. I heard a little bit of Chase Edmonds' conversation, and he really went in depth on this offense. So I really want to listen to Chase Edmonds.
With the speed and pace that you guys are taking practice right now,
Yeah.
how much do you think that's going to help you when you get into a game situation?
Yeah, I think a tremendous amount. The game of the speed, game time on Sundays, obviously speeds up a lot more in practice. I think what Coach McDaniel is doing, though, is he's doing this right by, we got the speed of the tempo speeding up, but we're also taking care of our legs, and it's not a high amount of plays. So it's kind of good give and take right now, good balance.
With the running back room that you guys have, obviously there's a lot of production in that room.
Yeah.
How do you manage those egos?
It's no egos. I always come in open-minded, man. I'm a team-first guy. I come in and do what I'm asked to do, and see if I can continue to try to exceed expectations or whatnot. But it's no egos for me, man. I want to see my brother ball. I want to see my brother get paid. We all in this business for the same reason. So just to take care of our families.
First, like
so it's no ego for me.
With this style, the wide zone, have you played in it before?
Nah, yeah, that's funny you said that. So today I had a run where it was about for like 7. It should have been for about 20, but I got to still train my eyes because all college and last 4 years in Arizona, I was predominantly inside zone, and that's a little different blocking scheme where the blocks work more vertical and it's slow too fast through. So I'm still learning on training my eyes just to ride the wave and figure out which cuts I'm going to be making at the second level, but that's the beauty of practice, bro. I'm my biggest critic, so I'll go back in the film room, I'll figure it out, and I'll get better tomorrow.
What would you have done differently? What should you have done differently?
I think I would have just rode the wave a little more. So like inside zone, I kind of, when I read my second level block, I'm usually pressing and getting back under it. With this one, I didn't even have to really do that. If I could have just stayed on my first level block, second man was already out to the second level, I kind of just give it a little shimmy and get back outside. So it's all give and take. It's good days with the bad days, and that's the beauty of football. Like I said, just got to continue to learn and train my eyes better.
When you're a back, and a lot of that is just instinct. You've been doing it since you were, 6, 7?
Right, yep.
How difficult is that to retrain your body and your eyes?
I don't think it's too difficult because with repetition, you get that neurological memory now. You start kicking in more. And like I said, I never really had 1,000 reps at outside zone. My last 10 years of football have all been inside zone. So I had thousands of reps at inside zone. We go run the inside zone play right now. I consider myself an expert at that particular play. So just continuing to get my repetitions, continuing to watch in the film room, seeing what I'm doing wrong, seeing what I can do better, seeing what I am doing right, and just continue to build on that.
Chase, when you have players like the biggest positive of running outside zone,
yeah, I love the lateral stretch. I never really realized that. Inside zone, it's kind of like a cat and mouse with the linebacker. I kind of have to really displace the linebacker with my track and displace the linebacker with some of my path. But on outside zone, I'm really riding the wave, and my front side blockers, are really doing a good job of trying to climb and get to that second level. And I like that when I do displace my cut, backers are usually outside zone. They're running laterally. So, their hips are to the sidelines. So when I do get underneath, there's no way they can get back to me because their hips. It's just, that's physics right there. You know what I'm saying? So out the inside zone, it's more vertical. So they're a little more square. So when I do even displace, they still have a better chance of catching back to me. So for me right now, just continue to learn my path, learn my track, learn what tempo is going to work best for me, learn how I can read blocks better. That's what I'm looking forward to most.
That's why I wanted to listen to Chase Edmonds, because Omar Kelly asked him some really good questions and got a lot of information out of him, the difference between the inside zone and the outside zone. And even at the end there, when he was talking, first he talks about sticking with his guys, right? Because the outside zone, you got to kick it to the outside. You got to make it there. Whereas the inside zone, at some point, you leave your blocker quick and you hit the gap. The outside zone, you got to stick with him longer. And then when he talks about the difference, especially with the linebackers playing that cat and mouse, what hole are you going to hit? It's that whole cat and mouse situation, whereas the outside zone, defenders' hips are going to be facing the sideline because they're running with you. Then they have to turn in to come in at you. They're following you. So if he can cut it back in, it's going to be harder, like you said, for them to turn. Very insightful, very insightful. Last one is going to be Christian Wilkins. One of you guys actually hit me up on Twitter and said, please react to this one, so we're going to listen to this one.
Shorter practice, and how's the feeling out there overall as a group?
No, good. Just good place to start, Day one at training camp, it's filled with a lot of different things. Guys shaking the rust off, high energy. Everyone's excited to get back out here. So, you're just chomping at the bit, and then we finally get to be out here and practice. So it's a lot of fun. New beginnings for a lot of guys and stuff. So we're excited to see what we can do as individuals and as a team.
What have you seen from him? Obviously, you've been under him for a little while now with mini camps.
Yeah.
And now today, what has surprised you about him or impressed you?
Yeah, nothing that's really necessarily surprised me, but the most impressive thing is he's the same guy every day. He's, he loves what he does. He brings that same energy every day, same demeanor, same mindset, and, it's infectious and it's contagious and it's nice to be around. So that's been the biggest thing I noticed about him.
X talked about the defense, or him as a whole. Sometimes he doesn't get the respect that he's supposed to.
Right.
He says Miami players, for some reason, don't get the respect. Not that you have to prove something this year on defense, but do you feel like, hey, you know what? We need to show the division and the rest of the league that we're here.
No, absolutely. Well, I just definitely feel like if we take care of the things we can take care of, a lot of guys were away training this offseason, working their butts off. And then, just like I said earlier, excited to be back here, get together. So if we just bring it every day, and we do the little things right, do the common things in an uncommon way, we'll command the attention of the world. So we just focus on the things we can do and doing the little things each and every day.
What are the advantages to having you've been doing it for a while through OTs and everything, but the shorter practice, just a high intensity?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. When we're out here, we're working. I mean, we're, get full throttle going, and it's like you can't even get a second to look up, breathe. Oh shoot! No, it's like we're going, we're moving, we're constantly working. So that's been that's different. It's a lot of fun, and it gets us, in good shape in this Miami heat and everything. So
I take it you prefer it this way, right?
No, it's good, just short and sweet, and it means a lot. So while you're out here working, your mindset's just different. You're not just doing busy work or just kind of standing around or looking for things to do. It's like every minute of practice, every second of practice has a purpose.
How do you process this heat day by day? You've been here for
a
little bit. How do you? Because today's nice.
Yeah.
Today's like
no,
AC.
It's not bad. This is I ain't never had a training camp day like this. It feels like, it seems like. So this is nice. I'll take this. I'll be happy with this. We know as we go on, it'll definitely be hotter, but I have an advantage just being here for a few years, so I know what I need to eat, what I need to drink, in order to come out here and be effective. But I think it's definitely good for us. It makes us work harder and just got no choice but to go through it. That's part of training camp. So
yeah, I noticed that a lot of these guys are talking and they're being asked about the up tempo. I think they only practiced for an hour, give or take. It's very McDaniel talked about it where he's going to get everything out of you, and there's no wasted motion, there's no wasted time, especially with the speed that they're running. So this training camp is going to be very interesting. But again, today there's some good, there was some bad. Second day of training camp. We'll see how tomorrow is. Can the people who've had the little hiccups here and there bounce back in tomorrow's training camp? But I will see you guys tomorrow, and then Saturday is open to you guys. So I'm interested to see who's going. But on that, like usual, stay classy. Fins up.